Okay, the next question will be for Jay Livingstone. It's coming from one of our constituents.
Tôi sinh niệm tôi sinh niệm係君子樓嘅字刻。我代表君子樓嘅前喺字下向各位議員嘅候選人提問。我哋知道而家紅人街有好多旗下嘅市銀樓嘅字客被逼遷，我們見我們君子樓嘅政府戰略很快都有期，你們會點樣支持我們嘅字客可以繼續留下自己嘅字價？我講完啦，多謝。
Thank you. Representative Livingston, I'm going to help you out. One of the talents people don't realize my impeccable ability to translate into English, so here it is. This is a question about affordable housing, which is a concern of theirs. Many Chinatown tenants are being evicted from private homes, while affordable housing projects like Quincy Towers face expiring subsidies. What will you do to keep tenants in their homes?
This is something that is paramount concern. I am currently on the Housing Committee and think about this issue and work on it regularly. There are several bills in the House of Representatives right now that I support. First, regarding expiring housing, there's a bill Kevin Homan filed to create funds that would allow landlords to get low-interest loans, improve their properties in exchange for extended periods of expiring use. There's another bill that would allow condemned properties to be turned over to trade unions, apprentice programs, so that the apprentice programs fix up the properties and then they can be converted into low-income housing. Those are the type of creative solutions that we need to continue to build more housing so that everyone has a place to stay. There's nothing more destabilizing for communities than rising housing prices, which is happening in Chinatown and in my district, or more discouraging for people who lose their neighbors. With respect to each, I'm pleased with the Walsh administration looking at increasing affordable housing, the percentage required for development in each of the projects that has happened in my district. I've made sure that the affordable housing happens on site so that we make sure it happens instead of money being paid into a fund where we never see a result. And I was proud in my first term to be the legislature we passed the largest bond bill in the history of Massachusetts, a $1.4 billion bond bill specifically for affordable housing, to repair, upgrade, and build new affordable housing throughout Massachusetts. And the Patrick administration was very effective, and the Baker administration now has access to that money to continue to build more. So this is a paramount issue that I'll continue to work on as a senator. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe Council Michelle Wu, she just put an ordinance before the council. It's a just cause ordinance. Basically what it will do is, and I think that's a first step of local reform, local zoning reform. Basically, it protects renters. Someone can't just throw you out for just cause reasoning. Basically, it protects renters. If someone comes in and buys the house that you're renting from, they can't just throw you out or give you an eviction notice. It gives the tenants more leeway. Also, as a realtor, I connect people on a daily basis with mortgage funding and mortgage representation and funding to help them out. So, my time is up.
Ms.
things that happens to a lot of communities is that they are the ones who are building the community, they're the neighborhood watch, they're the individuals who have gone through the transition and made the community attractive for many people to come into it, and then ultimately they're the ones who cannot afford to stay in. And so I would push forward for policies that encourage stabilization of a community. I would look at not only just cause eviction, but also looking at first right of refusal, which is the right to purchase before a developer could if you're a tenant. I would also incentivize landlords to sell to their tenants, and also look at ways in which we can push forward permanent affordable housing, not just through quotas and not just through increasing percentages, but looking at land trusts and looking at ways in which the community is assuring that it is developing and able to stay in the beautiful community that it has built. So I think it's really important that we start to really see development from the grassroots, and when you do it that way, the same community that was able to build a safe, beautiful, wonderful place will be able to stay there.
I'm chairman of a public housing authority in Winthrop, and we deal with this problem every day, with people being displaced from their communities, just being displaced from their homes, parents being displaced from their houses, and children being displaced from their school district. There's nothing worse than that. I think in Massachusetts, we need to increase the Massachusetts rental voucher program and make housing affordable. In this boom of development in Boston, we need to take a more balanced approach to development and incentivize developers to create more lower and middle class income housing, as well as the luxury housing that we're seeing everywhere. I think we need to incentivize landlords to allow tenants to remain in their homes. I think we need to take a more balanced approach with public housing and lower income and middle class housing.
Housing is clearly, certainly one of the top one or two issues that we talk with all throughout the residents throughout the district. And it's, even if we solve it here in Chinatown, the reality is it's a district-wide, it's a greater Boston-wide sort of issue that we need to be working on. The reality is that we just simply have not had built enough housing here in the greater Boston area, and so that's caused the rise in rents and the rise in the cost of purchasing homes for a lot of new homeowners. So what we need to do is we need to start working. First off, we need to refund the MassWorks program, which will help out on that effort as well, and we'll also need to look at additional Chapter 40R types of developments that would allow for higher levels of affordable housing to become available, not just purely the 13%, but even as high as 20%. We need to get additional funding for that and make sure that those programs can continue and that folks can continue to stay in homes and neighborhoods that they love.
We all know that Chinatown is disappearing, and the impact of that is very personal. It's whole buildings of tenants being moved out. Right? It's 5,000 applicants for 100 middle-income and low-income slots. Suzanne Lee, who I admire and is a mentor of mine, actually said that living in Chinatown is like winning the lottery now. So we know that housing is a problem. And we have to work to increase state funding for affordable housing. We have to preserve the expiring use units across the community that are at risk of losing their affordable housing designation. We have to advocate for a just cause eviction law to protect tenants from these unwarranted evictions and inflated rent hikes. And I'm so happy to be present to support the huge crowd that came out, organized by so many of the organizations that have sponsored this forum, to make their voices heard at the Just Cause hearing on this past Monday.
Thank you.